welcome or welcome back to my channel. So today I decided let's just go ahead and do a love reading just to kind of see what's going on in the relationship. I'm kind of freestyling it for today. I don't know what direction exactly each of them are going to take. So I really suggest that you guys don't just go by what's on the picture, because it could represent what you think it does and it could represent something completely different. Like for example, this card right here says opposition, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you and your partner are necessarily in a fight, but if you feel like it does represent what you're going through right now, then by all means you can go ahead and pick it. So you can go ahead and pick whichever one you're drawn to the most. Like I said, don't go by what is on the picture or like the description of the picture only, but go by whatever your intuition is pulling you towards. If there is maybe like some type of symbol or something that you look for, or even numerologically, maybe there's something that you look for, or a certain number or picture or symbol that really resonates with you, I would suggest going about it that way versus just looking at the words that are describing the cards. Okay, so for pile number 1, we have Ceres with the nurture, number 29. For pile number 2, we have 10th house with authority, number 48. Very pretty card. Like the cards are not reflective, but I don't know, that prism, that rainbow back there in the back, it almost looks like it does have like a reflective surface to it, right? And pile number 3 is opposition, confrontation, with number 53. Okay, go ahead and choose your pile. You can pause the video if you need to take a little more time, but I'm going to get started with pile number 1 with Ceres nurture. All right, so if you picked pile number 1, Ceres nurture with number 29. So here I'm actually getting just intuitively, without even looking at the guidebook, because we're going to go to the guidebook, but just intuitively off the bat, I'm actually where is my guidebook? I have to find my guidebook first, but anyway, yeah, so intuitively what I'm picking up from this card is like it says nurture here, so I'm getting the feeling that there's a saying, the grass is greener where you water it, and I'm getting that this is something that you and your partner are looking to work on. You guys are looking to grow. Maybe you guys are starting maybe some type of business or some type of adventure or something like that together, where you're both kind of like putting in equal amounts of effort into something. You guys could both be putting equal amounts of effort into the relationship itself, obviously. And I'm getting that whatever you guys are doing, it intuitively, like it just really feels like it's working for you guys. You know, I'm really getting that you guys are really properly planting the seeds for abundance. And it looks like Spirit is saying that whatever you guys are doing is going to pay off big time for you in the long run. Okay, so just give me 1 second. I have to find the guidebook. I swear I just had it. Hold on 1 second. It'll be 1 second for you. Hold on. Okay, I found it. All right, so Ceres nurture. Ceres is a dwarf planet between Mars and Jupiter, named after Ceres, Roman goddess of the harvest, food, earth fertility, and mother of Proserpina. Well, I'm sorry if I butchered that, but that's the goddess of the spring. All right, so when Pluto kidnapped Proserpina and took her to the underworld to be his queen, Ceres threatened to starve the world until she was returned. Oh, okay. So I know her as Persephone. And oh my God, I forgot the Greek name, but I do remember the mother. Okay, so anyway, Sarah signifies our relationship to food for better or worse. So you guys could be in a committed relationship, which was something I did pick up. Cultivation and the safety or loss of a child. Okay, so I hope you guys did not lose a child, but if you did, I'm very, very sorry for those of you who resonate with that message. Ceres's ancient rites initiated people into the secrets of death and rebirth through the symbolic harvest. Cut the heads off grain with the scythe, bury them, and new life arises. Action. Okay, mother and be mothered. Nurture and cultivate that which is growing, whether it's the harvest from the earth, the child from the womb, or the art from the artist. Real love can mean tough love, doing what's best for your beloved, even if they hate you for it. Love and nurture your own body with healthy, whole foods. Take them as communion with the organic world. Feel the earth beneath you, holding you, loving you through hard times. Let this abundance flow through you to others. Advocate for those who are weaker, vulnerable, or dependent. If your progeny, your project, or your harvest is being taken from you before ripening, be ready to starve the world until they are safe. Witness with strength and power. When the time is right, be willing to let go. For your progeny, which I think means child, or a creation to flourish, they must embark on their own journey. Once your job as a nurturer is complete, let go and step into the next level of your own mastery. Wow. So challenge. Do not mistake smothering, enabling, or infantilizing actions as signs of love. Once you release the object of your care, your life is not over. A new mystery begins. Gift. There is sacredness in your daily life. Loving, feeding, nurturing, gardening, and being in family, whether chosen or biological, are all part of a powerful spiritual path. The mother holds you. Wow. Okay, so for as far as the relationship goes, and what this means in a relationship. So this, I really feel like you guys could maybe be smothering each other just a little bit, but I do get a very nurturing, a very protective energy. I don't know, I'm getting kind of the feeling like maybe one or both of you could be feeling a little bit stifled. Maybe you guys feel like you guys have to be kind of on top of each other 24/7 in order for the relationship to work. Maybe you guys have that type of expectation on each other. But it seems like Spirit is kind of low-key saying that it is okay to give each other space from time to time and allow each other to have creative projects or independent beliefs or interests separate from the other. So, you know, one or both of you may have some kind of codependent issues. One or both of you could be parents, or maybe it's a mutual child within the relationship, or maybe you guys have children outside of the relationship. But that is something that is coming up here as far as parenting goes. But like I said, it is kind of saying that I'm also getting a message here about being able to nurture yourself and being able to know when it's time to do something for yourself outside of the relationship, outside of others' expectations of yourself as well, okay? So let's go ahead and pull some tarot and see what tarot has to say about your relationship. Oh, that just flew out. Okay. Page of Cups. Okay, so yeah, this is my child card. you may have a child that has water placements. You may or may not have a child that has I'm sorry, water placements. But I do also get that this relationship has been nurturing and has healed your inner child in some way as well. One or both of you could be creatives and are maybe even looking to get into something with creativity. Okay, so we have the Six of Materials, which is the Six of Pentacles. So yeah, so this is actually really some really beautiful energy. I'm not gonna lie, because Six of Pentacles, that is a very equal give and take. You know, you guys feel a sense of balance with each other. There could be some mirroring in the relationship. Like, for example, when you are generous and you give the person that you're in a relationship with a gift of some sort, then they give you a gift of approximately the same value. Or if you back away from the relationship, sometimes they back away from the relationship as well. And honestly, you know, sometimes that could be good, and I can see like where that could be a little bit of a protective or defense mechanism sometimes, which can or cannot. Sometimes that's not a good thing, if I'm being honest, because sometimes you need that balance where if you back away from the relationship, you need the other person to kind of come to you and be like, hey, you know, what's wrong? Are you okay? Is there anything I can do to help? Okay. And I'm just being honest as a person who has experienced, you know, something kind of like that before in the past, you know, where like, okay, so if I back up, then you back up too. So then like we're both at a standstill, and then it just becomes almost like a game of like who is going to, you know, win in this whole thing and be the first one to break. So that's not always a good thing. Okay, so we also have here the Hanged Man. So again, more water energy here. So one or both of you could be a water sign, Pisces specifically, because the Hanged Man is represented by Pisces. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups. So there is a lot of love here. And again, there's this message of parenthood. So, you know, one or both of you could be a parent, or maybe one or both of you could be pregnant, because there's also like that symbol of fertility. I'm actually kind of surprised that the Empress energy didn't come out as well. Okay, and here we have the Devil. So the Devil could represent kind of an obsession, because I did kind of pick up on that earlier. I said like you guys could be mutually smothering each other, or one or both of you is smothering each other, and that could come from, you know, like a sense of codependency, like I had said, or maybe a fear of loss, maybe. Oh, and with this Page of Cups here, maybe it is from something like a childhood wound where maybe one of your parents kind of abandoned you, or maybe you felt abandoned or neglected by one of your parents. And so you're trying to kind of have, you know, try to heal that relationship that you had with that parent through your romantic relationship. And so, you know, I honestly, I'm feeling like it's a little bit of both of you. So, you know, we draw in the partners that we have, and it's no mistake, right? Because it's like my wounds mirror your wounds. And so if, for example, I had a mother wound, you know, I could attract somebody who has a father wound, for example. So we're both looking to kind of heal that relationship that we had with that broken relationship that we had with our parent. We're looking to subconsciously heal that within the other person, right? But I do get that regardless of the sense of almost like clinginess that I get, within this relationship, either one or both of you, I do get this sense of, I don't know, I do get a sense that it works. Anyway, so like, I think that it's okay sometimes to just kind of like take a pause for yourself and just kind of take a breather. This relationship probably also changed your perspective as well. And maybe, just the same way that you had maybe villainized yourself for some of the past hurts or past pains that you've endured in your other relationships, whether they be in your friendships, right? Again, I'm getting this sense of like parenthood. I would be very surprised if you guys are not parents in this group, but of course, so many people exist, so it's very possible that you're not. But I get that strong sense of parenthood from this group. But sorry, I thought I heard my baby woke up from her nap, but oh yeah, she is up. Okay. So so maybe it's healing, that relationship that you even have with your child, because I'm getting that it is a very nurturing relationship, and it does make you, kind of heal that childhood wound somewhat, right? And you're both able to grow and give and take equally within the relationship, which is beautiful, by the way. So let's pull some additional oracle cards for you guys, okay? One moment. Oh, okay, you guys, I'm back. I almost didn't make it because, it's hard when an 18-month-old wakes up from a nap and you got to tend to it, so yeah. So the oracle card I pulled for your person was number 22, Capricorn, I use. Okay, so one or both of you guys could be a Capricorn, or have heavy Capricorn placements, or even 10th house placements. And honestly, we'll get to it. And for your side, I picked lunar eclipse change. And for the connecting energy, this card came out, Jupiter return benefits. So for your side, it's number 43, and the connecting energy is number 49. And honestly, the fact that the number 49 and 43 are so close together, for me, that makes me feel like because of this change that's going on within you, that is going to be the catalyst for growth in this relationship. So the relationship is more under your control or more in your hands than you might have originally expected. Okay, so yeah, maybe this devil energy, maybe that is also you maybe kind of feeling trapped or kind of restricted by some of the confines of the relationship. Maybe I don't get this sense, but maybe some of you guys may be dealing with trigger warning, emotional, or maybe even physical abuse, because this Capricorn energy I use, I don't know, it's giving a little bit of a selfish energy, if I'm being honest, for lack of a better word. And the person may not even realize that they are in this energy. They're probably just very self-focused, or probably just very focused on work and material gains, especially for the fact that it came up, by the Six of Materials. So Virgo energy could be important here as well. But yeah, so this person may be very materially focused. They probably put their self-worth in the material realm, which unfortunately just seems to be very common, especially for those who affiliate themselves or associate themselves as masculine, or who have a lot of masculine energy. It's just very unfortunate because, many men, honestly, or those who associate with masculine energy, are taught to kind of use people for their own gain. And it's very unfortunate, because then when they get into romantic relationships, then they don't know how to operate on an equal give and take basis. So I feel like there might be some type of emotional change that's kind of going on within you. You probably are kind of getting into the energy of self-love here, right? And trying to maybe kind of like pour love back into yourself. And this, I'm very happy to see it, honestly. I'm very happy to see that this is something that has been a common theme in several of my readings at this point, and I don't even have that many readings up yet. But this is a common theme that I'm seeing in a lot of my readings lately, is that the feminine collective has just been kind of waking up to the lack of balance in their relationships, and they are doing what they can to change within themselves, and that in turn creates a change within the dynamic of the relationship. And if I'm being honest, I really just don't think that the person who your partner or whoever associates themselves as the masculine energy, I honestly sincerely don't feel like this is intentional, because I see that with you kind of becoming a little bit more self-aware with your emotions and everything like that, that it changes for the better of the relationship. And so, you could be changing your whole perspective on the relationship and seeing that lack of balance, because she's looking this way. So she's looking this way and she's seeing that lack of balance in the relationship, and she's putting that love within herself. Well, I just assume it's a woman. I don't know. A lot of these pictures, a lot of them, they look like women, but take it how it resonates, however you see yourself. So this is creating a change in perspective, and with Jupiter return benefits, I'm honestly seeing like an equal give and take as a result. I'm seeing that there's a type of expansion in the relationship. I mean, if anything, this could even create a sense of abundance. And honestly, it's really feeling like financial abundance. But with that Ace of Cups here, and the Page of Cups, it could also be emotional abundance as well, just kind of like a sense of emotional fulfillment, because when you start loving on yourself, then the other person, I mean, they don't have too much of a choice now, do they? So like they just kind of tend to follow suit, and that can create more of a healing energy within the relationship. Okay, so this was the card that came out. A time to give rather than take. And honestly, I really think that this is, again, kind of pointing to the need for balance. And I don't know, I really kind of feel like it's kind of hinting that you should kind of give to yourself, if I'm being honest, especially with the vibe of the whole reading, right? And just kind of like having that sense of codependency within the whole relationship. And then the new moon in Virgo, you guys could be very critical of yourselves, if anything. And, you're kind of like making that change within yourself and giving yourself even maybe more compliments, kind of pulling within yourself hermit energy, pulling within yourself and just kind of having that time to yourself to kind of, just kind of analyze and see what it is that you need to really create that better sense of fulfillment. And how interesting is this? On the bottom of the deck, we have confidence is your key to success. New moon and Leo. So again, there's this whole thing of like new moons, lunar eclipses, which are almost a type of new moon if you think about it, because it's that shadow over the moon. So like you can't really see it too clearly in the sky when you look in the sky. But there's something about new moons and maybe even setting your intentions on the new moon, or even working with the cycles of the moon with your own cycles, because we have that message here of harvest. And in order to properly harvest, you have to work with certain cycles. So yeah, there's something here about cycles or cycles of the moon or something along those lines. However, with this card, confidence is your key to success. Yeah, so it's funny because we were kind of seeing that earlier, maybe kind of like self-limiting beliefs, or maybe that feeling of like codependency. And unfortunately with codependency, you do have issues a lot of the time with self-esteem in the person who has codependent tendencies. So you are lovable, you are enough, and you have the power within yourself to pursue your own interests. You probably have some creative interests that you want to pursue, and maybe you're just kind of like afraid to go and pursue your own interests because maybe you're afraid of what the other person is going to think of it. But I see here that they are going to choose to be supportive of you if you go ahead and make that step. And it's so funny because even though like this is originally a love reading, it just always tends to go in this direction, about like pouring into yourself and healing yourself. You probably need to work on your heart and your solar plexus chakra with all this green and yellow energy here. That I'm really getting that as well. But yeah, it's just really funny how it comes to that, So I really wish you all the best of luck, pile number one. I think that you got this, and you got a lot more support than you realize, especially in your partner, because I really feel like you're just the type of person who probably gives and gives, and you don't really look for anything in return. And unfortunately, this person was in the energy of like receiving from you, and probably, like I said, this dynamic has probably been going on so long that both of you probably haven't even realized it. But I'm seeing here that you're kind of having this change of perspective and really kind of like going within yourself with that Virgo energy, and just kind of like trying to pour into yourself, okay? And just trying to fill your own cup and becoming more emotionally fulfilled within yourself. And that in turn, you guys, creates a more emotionally stable and emotionally fulfilling relationship, okay? So I really hope that this reading helped you. Please let me know how it resonated in the comments, and I hope to talk to you guys again soon. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. If you picked this card, 10th house with authority, number 48, this is your reading. Okay, so just kind of looking at the picture here and just intuitively picking up on messages. This could be a long distance relationship. And you guys probably have certain obstacles, like physical obstacles I'm feeling in between you. So, you have all this triangle imagery here, and this person is like climbing. So one or both of you could be trying to make plans to see the other person. I really kind of get that maybe your person is trying to make plans on seeing you, if I'm being honest. But it could be the other way around. Take it how it resonates, and then whatever messages don't resonate with you, just go ahead and release that. Okay. One or both of you could live in a place that looks like this, like with a lot of mountains or trees or forests, or one or both of you could be even the outdoorsy type, maybe the type to like to go camping or hunting or something like that. One or both of you could be Saturn ruled persons. So Saturn ruled signs are Capricorn, obviously, because Capricorn rules the 10th house, or Aquarius. Okay. So let's go ahead and go to the guidebook and see what the guidebook has to say about this card. Let's see, number 48. Okay. 10th house authority. Okay, so if your chart were a village map, the 10th house would hold the courthouse, government seat, and the public face of your work. Here is the arena for your most public self, your relationship to authority figures, and your role as a leader. Yeah, so that was another message that I was picking up, and I forgot to say it. I do feel like maybe one or both of you could be very focused on your career right now, or your reputation. Maybe you're working on climbing that ladder to success, or maybe even climbing the ladder, so to speak, in the relationship. Maybe trying to put in that work or put in more effort in the relationship to try and make it work. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Action. You're being asked to step up and take on the next level of personal authority. It's hard to build something without a clear blueprint, so look at your definition of a strong leader and decide whether you need to amend it. Remember how you felt as a kid about your parents, the school principal, priests, police, and teachers, and observe whether they used their responsibility wisely and encouraged you to develop yours, or whether you needed to rebel to be safe. Notice your relationship to the concept of divine authority and investigate if it was something to be feared, ignored, or expanded. Did it offer you safety and refuge? These patterns affect both how you react to outside authority and what you expect from yourself as a parent, professional, or leader. Sort between the traits that worked and those that are not worth emulating. Deconstruct assumptions about authority that no longer serve you. Authority is no longer what other people carry, it is what you are developing within. Take responsibility for healing old wounds around empowerment and create new blueprints. If needed, tell off someone who abused their authority, either in person, in therapy, or in a letter you burn and release. Get the training and certification you need. Create a mental collage of good role models, people who lead in a way that empower others. Create a clear picture of a competent, responsible, lovable, and empowering authority. Step into that role and be that pillar in your community and family with confidence. Challenge. A bully is a parody of true leadership. Be careful not to mistake power over other people as equal to empowerment within. Wow. Gift. Wherever you are in your evolution, it's time to take the next step up the mountain of leadership, empowerment, and accomplishment. Okay, so in terms of romantic relationships, what I'm seeing is that maybe you guys might be taking the next step within your relationship and are looking to get to that pinnacle, to that summit together. That's what I got from all that, okay? Bump all that noise. Oh my God, you guys, would you believe it is hours later? It is real out here. When you have kids, it is real. Oh my God. So anyway, back to how I was feeling intuitively about this card. Yeah, so I don't know, with that sun shining and just kind of like the prism that's kind of coming through the light, it makes me just kind of feel like that feeling of, the light at the end of the tunnel. So maybe you guys have just overcome some obstacles, or whatever, and you guys are getting to the top or getting to some type of destination, but it feels together. Honestly, it feels together. Or maybe you guys are both kind of doing your own thing separately, and maybe you're both focusing on your career separately. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot and see what tarot has to say. Okay, so the Page of Wands. So there's definitely a lot of passion here, which I totally would not have thought. Honestly, if I'm being honest with you, when I think of 10th house, I do not think of passion. Like, I just think of kind of like slow and steady. So maybe you guys are just kind of starting out your relationship with each other, and you might feel like there could be like some obstacles in the way before you guys could really get together. So the Magician came out sideways like this. Let me just try to see if it, all right, so okay, so it looks like it wants to come out upright, which is good because like so far I haven't had any reversals as of yet in any of my readings. So, we'll see how that goes. As far as the Magician upright, if I'm being honest, like this makes me feel like a back and forth communication because it's ruled by Mercury. So I really feel like you guys are communicating together like passionately. There's a lot of back and forth communication. Okay, the Three of Wands again, the sideways thing. It came out mostly upright, but let me see. Yeah, upright. So yeah, so this makes me think of a long distance relationship, honestly, you guys. The Page of Wands, like look at how this cat is kind of like looking in the distance. It really makes me feel like there are plans and maybe even like communication of trying to kind of like close that gap, close the distance between you guys. You guys could be trying to manifest some kind of way to see each other. And the Ace of Cups. Oh, I love it. This is a beautiful reading, you guys. The Ace of Cups came up in the last reading, pile number 1. Oh, you guys, get out of here, okay? This is beautiful. 4 of Wands. Wow. So that is, to me, that's a sign of stability. So I feel like it's almost like a story here, like progression. The way that your tarot cards are spread. Usually the middle card, I feel like tells us the most about what's going on and then outward. But I personally, I like to take a look at whatever the major arcana is in the spread and then work around that. So right here we have the Magician. So very powerful energy. You guys could have manifested this relationship or this connection. And it really feels like it is very spiritually guided. I feel like there's a lot of like 5D communication, because you see how like it's like the ethers is kind of like coming down. So it's that as above so below, right? So that communication here in the 5D, and it's coming down and it's being grounded here into reality. And I really feel like that's kind of like what's going on with you guys. This person could even have check all the boxes for you. I really feel like this is like a good and stable, grounded person. I feel like they're a little chatty. A little chatty patty over here with that Page of Wands and the Magician. Like a lot of like, I'm getting a lot of communication, a lot of back and forth communication, which is good, right? Especially like when it's long distance. You don't see each other on a daily basis. So that communication is super key right now. But yeah, that Three of Wands, like you guys are, again, there's that message of manifestation here, you know, because you guys are looking to kind of like close that gap. There could be travel from your end to go see them, or from them to go see you. But I see like when you guys, oh my goodness, this is a PG reading, but I just had a visual. And when you look at this picture, I think you can kind of guess what I am hinting at. I think that when you guys, especially, it will end with that Page of Wands, which is very passionate, you know, but you do have the base of emotions here as well. I'm sorry, I keep pausing, you guys. I feel like I'm coming down with something, so like my throat is a little bit sore, but yeah, I think when you guys meet, it's going to be very exciting, to say the least. I think, you know, if you guys haven't, you know, gone to that level yet, I think you guys might be getting to that level. And I really feel like it's going to make you feel so safe and so secure in your relationship. So this could be like the very first time you guys are seeing each other, with that 10th house authority card leading the way here in your reading. It's making me feel like, you know, you guys are maybe taking your relationship to the next step, which is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy, you guys. I mean, this is, I couldn't have a happier, more positive reading. So yeah, if you guys were drawn to the last pile, the Ace of Cups was there, and I want to say the Page of Wands was there as well. The Page of Inspiration is the Page of Wands. So in this deck, inspiration is wands. And look, there is a lot of wands energy. And oh my goodness, and look at this. I just realized, I don't know how I didn't realize before. You have the Page of Wands, communication, the Three of Wands, Ace of Cups, and then Four of Wands. So it's like a progression, right? Just like with the 10th house, the steps, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you guys could be seeing sequences like that. Oh man, a card just flipped and I just put it back. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. I put it back by mistake. If it's meant to come out, it'll come back out. But yeah, you guys could be seeing sequences of numbers like that. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, you know, 6, 7, 8, you know, numbers like that. And it's, I feel like it's just kind of saying that you are headed in the right direction in this connection. All right, so there we go. Get out of here. What did I say at the beginning? I said one or both of you could be Saturn ruled. Saturn return age. So one or both of you could be going through a Saturn return. If you are, I'm sorry. And like, I don't mean to laugh. Well, no, I do need to laugh. I'm sorry, because like Saturn return is rough. I've been there, done that. And you know, I know I'm due for another one. Saturn return is rough, okay? So I just feel like, you know, this person, they see you as kind of like an oasis in the desert, is how I'm feeling. I feel like, okay, my life is hard. I have so much that I have to do, so many things that I have to get done, so much on my plate, so many worries, da 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 da. And here you are, just like with your cup of water, and I'm just so thirsty. So maybe this person was thirsty for you. Maybe they did kind of thirst after you a little bit, you know, at the beginning. I do feel like there is a lot of attraction here. There is a lot of attraction. And your cards, oh, okay, there we go. I was going to say, your cards are kind of reluctant to come out. Oh my goodness. See, this card also came, oh, sorry. Oh, I hit the camera, sorry. So this card also came up in the last reading, lunar eclipse change. Okay, so again, for me, I feel like that is more water energy because the moon is ruled by Cancer. So maybe you're a Cancer or some kind of water sign with the Ace of Cups here. And yeah, like I said, your person may be Saturn ruled, which is Capricorn or Aquarius. And on the bottom of the deck, we have Libra, I balance. Okay, so you guys could have Libra in your chart or some kind of seventh house placement. But seventh house, I mean, this is... I know I sound like a broken record. I know I sound like a broken record. So I'm sorry, but I balance? Like, how did the Two of Cups not come out here? Like, because it's giving Two of Cups, honestly. I balance. So, again, the way I'm seeing this is like this person has kind of a lot going on. Maybe they have a lot on their plate with that Magician card right here. You know, the Magician, if you are familiar with the Rider-Waite version, because it doesn't really show too much here. If you can see that, it doesn't show too much here. Let me see if I can find the Rider-Waite version. Because in the Rider-Waite version, the Magician has all four elements in front of him, you know? And I feel like your person is just a powerful manifester in that way. And they probably... here it is. So this is the original Rider-Waite version of the Magician. And you see how he has kind of like a lot going on here? And he has all four elements, right? So he has the Wands, the Cups, Pentacles, and Swords. So I just feel like your person might kind of be balancing a lot on their plate. And for some reason, they feel like they can tackle the world. I feel like they can tackle the world, right? Because this is giving almost like world energy right there. With you by their side. This is a beautiful beginning of a relationship. It really feels new. If you guys have been in a relationship with this person for a while, there could be like a renewal of the relationship. And some of you guys maybe haven't even met this person yet. So you guys might be communicating over the internet with that Magician energy, right? Because that is a lot of communication. And then that, you know, how I was talking about the ethers up here, that could be the internet, right? Like radio, not radio waves, but I don't know, internet waves, like, right? How does the internet work? Okay, like I clearly was older when the internet came out. I have no idea how the internet works. So like internet waves, is that a thing? So like the internet waves, here you guys are communicating through the internet or through email, lots of text messaging, etc. So this lunar eclipse, you know, it's funny because I get it a little bit differently here in this pile than I did in the previous pile. So like I said, if you feel drawn to it, you can listen, but if not, it is a totally different energy. So of course you don't have to. But this lunar eclipse change, I feel like you yourself you have a lot kind of going on as well. And you're having like a lot of internal shifts kind of going on. And I feel like, again, it's just kind of like that feeling of like, you guys are like maybe even mirroring each other. You're going through a lot as well. And you know, you kind of find strength and balance within this person as well. So this is so beautiful. So it's almost like you guys come together to find peace. Boom. Peace and harmony. That's what I was trying to say before. So you guys come together and you guys find peace and harmony within each other. And I wouldn't be surprised if this relationship, you know, ends up lasting for quite a while. You know, not everybody believes in marriage, but the Four of Wands is a marriage card. It's a card that symbolizes marriage, but it does show a very stable relationship and one that it can last through the test of time. So on the bottom, we have work through your fears, new moon and Scorpio. And then on the bottom of the deck, show the world the real you, full moon and Aquarius. Again, more Aquarian energy. Excuse me, guys. Sorry for the clearing of my throat, but yeah. And so with this purple energy, it's really making me think of like the third eye and the crown chakra. So like I was saying before, I really think that there's a lot kind of going on in the 5D. And you know what, I just saw this, like the page one has this like super colorful cloud that is like kind of random, because like, so you know, you're in the middle of the desert, what do you need this colorful cloud for? Like, what does that stand for? I don't know, it just seems kind of like spiritual. So you guys, I really think that there is like a spiritual connection here. Yeah, and you guys are probably communicating a lot in the 3D. So work through your fears, new moon and Scorpio. So yeah, like I was saying, you guys are kind of going through your own personal transformation, and maybe there is a fear of like travel. Maybe you guys have a fear of this relationship. You guys might have been hurt before in the past, and or maybe you feel like you've had to kind of like kiss a lot of frogs to get to your Prince Charming. But I'm really kind of getting that this person is not afraid of who you really are. So you or the other person could be wearing a mask a little bit in this relationship, but I'm really feeling like once you guys are comfortable, I think that, you know, you guys are going to kind of like let your guards down and be able to kind of like come out of your shell. Because I don't know, Scorpio and Aquarius, despite the fact that Aquarius energy does have to do with humanitarianism, have you ever met an Aquarius? I'm sorry, but I don't know. I'm an Aquarius rising, okay? So I love my Aquariuses, but they're ironically not very social. Like, they're not social, or like they're like friendly, but like they're not your friend, you know, like very impersonal. So like they can keep a lot of like superficial relationships, you know, a lot of acquaintances, but like it can get hard to know them on a deeper level because they are very selective as to who they let in, if anybody at all. And it's like, are you a robot? Do you have emotions? Do you have emotions? Because like, what? They probably are secretly robots or aliens or something, because I'm sure a lot of Aquariuses can relate to that, what I just said. Like, I think a lot of them probably don't even feel like they're of this world. Those Aquarians they're something else, you know. And then Scorpios are known for privacy and secrecy. You know, they rule the house of secrecy. So like, yeah, this is giving that you guys are probably both very introverted, you know, and kind of shy. But like once you guys get around each other, you guys come out of your shell and are able to feel like yourselves with each other, which is a beautiful thing. This is a beautiful reading, you guys. Thank you so much for sharing this beautiful energy with me. I thank you and your spirit guides for joining me today, and I hope to see you soon again next time. Okay, thank you. Bye. All right, last but not least, in the least, okay, pile number 3, if you pick this card, opposition confrontation, card number 53, this is your reading. So I tried to kind of like pick up intuitively what the meaning of the card is kind of giving me, just kind of off the bat, but there's, I don't know, these look like 2 rams. So you could have a lot of Aries placements, or a lot of planets are in your first house. You could have a lot of third house. For some reason, I'm getting third house energy as well. You guys could be having some issues at work. You or your person could be having some issues at work, or you guys could be having issues with each other. Maybe you guys are kind of in the middle of an argument and could be in separation. Let's be honest here. You guys could be in opposition to each other. Maybe you guys just had a fight, and maybe you're just kind of trying to understand where the other person is coming from, what they're kind of thinking of the situation. But it's giving the energy of two very stubborn souls that are just, both of them are not willing to back down. And there's a lot of tension here, if I'm being honest. If maybe some sexual tension. Let's see what the card has to say in the guidebook. All right, opposition. When two planets oppose each other across the circle of the zodiac, as the sun and moon do on a full moon, both planets will either be in signs of yang elements, fire and air, or yin elements, water and earth, and stare directly at each other across the earth like partners in a wrestling match. Okay, partners in a wrestling match. The opposition can feel like a dare or a challenge, like boot camp, where confrontation pushes everyone to grow. Action. This is not a comfortable situation, but that's not the point. You're being challenged to grow. Look at the situation as a dojo, a martial arts training center, and take the training. You don't have to trust the wisdom of the people you are wrestling with, but you can trust the pattern itself in this great cosmic workout. Practice your best skills, stay centered, and operate from wisdom and strategy instead of emotional heat. Listen for hints on how to improve your style. The obstacles in your way are not there to stop you, but to push you towards your personal best. This situation may be set up as a dichotomy, you or them, love or work, your ideas versus their idea. Question the dichotomy's illusion and look for a third position of resolution, a both and solution versus either or. If the way forward feels truly blocked, look for another path. Sometimes an opposition, particularly in transit, says you shall not pass this way, find another route. An opposition dares you to proceed. Decide if this path is worth the struggle. If it is, grow those skills, hold your ground, and fight for what you believe in. You are being asked to prove to yourself and others that you have the skills needed for the next step. Challenge. This situation is an inconvenient growth opportunity, but not a punishment. Decide if it is time to build muscles or to find another path. Gift. This situation offers you a chance to burn through karma if you can continually respond with compassion and tough love from your higher self. Take the higher road. So yeah, I just think that the opposition, also the opposition could be coming from the outside in. Maybe you have some kind of nosy family member or somebody who's trying to get into your business because, unfortunately, we have people who are just like that. Sometimes people don't do that on purpose. They just want to be in your business just out of boredom, out of sheer boredom. All right, so let's go ahead and pull some tarot and see what the tarot has to say. I didn't like that shuffle, honestly. Let's do that again. Oh, much better. And then after that, we'll pull some astrology cards and see what both of your energies are. Okay, so we have the Three of Pentacles. So this could be a work relationship or a work connection. We have the Two of Swords, or the Two of Voices. So maybe that opposition is internal. Maybe you have some kind of internal conflict and you're not sure what direction to go. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Let's get one more and then the bottom of the deck. Holy. Okay, I said one more. And two came out. Oh, okay. So we have two tens here. Let's move this way. The 10 of Wands, or the 10 of Inspiration reversed, and the 10 of Cups reversed, which is very interesting. And then on the bottom of the deck, yeah, the 5 of Swords, which is the 5 of Voices in this deck. Okay. So honestly, I'm getting a lot of mixed messages here. I think I'm going to go ahead and just do your group a little differently, just because your group is just a little different. I don't know how to explain it. It just is. Like, I'm filming on the opposite day completely. And, okay, so for their side, we have Pisces, I believe, which is interesting. On your side, we have Saturn, Truth. So one or both of you could have these placements in your chart. Let me move everything up so we can see what's going on. Okay, that's good. And for the connecting energy, yeah, so I'm wondering if this is some kind of connection at work, and maybe you guys are not supposed to be in a relationship, or you're not supposed to be in a connection. Interesting. And the bottom of the deck, we have 10th house, the World. So yeah, so it's funny because all three piles had some type of Saturn energy. And if you all are following astrology, what's going on with Pluto, Pluto is transiting out of Saturn, and it is, I'm sorry, not out of Saturn, out of Capricorn, and it is going into Aquarius. So yes, it is a Saturn ruled energy, but it is almost polar opposites, you know, because Capricorn is very structured, very disciplined, whereas Aquarius is a little bit more of a free-flowing spirit, right? And so I almost see Aquarius somewhat similar to Pisces in the sense that they're both free spirits, right? Okay, anyway, yes, and that they're both free spirits, but in a different sense, right? Because Pisces is more abstract and is more spiritual, whereas Aquarius is more grounded in the physical 3D, but it's still very cerebral, right? Very intellectual. So they're both are stuck in their heads. And I wonder if you both are just kind of like feeling maybe indecisive about this situation, and you're both kind of at a crossroads in this situation, in this connection, rather. I said situation, so maybe that was a Freudian slip. So this could be a type of situationship or a friends with benefits type of situation, but it's seeming kind of like it's not very emotionally fulfilling at this point. I really feel like one or both of you could kind of be trying to do your own thing and maybe trying to break away from it. And maybe you're trying to find a way to communicate that. I really feel like it's you. I don't feel like you are feeling very emotionally fulfilled in this. And so you're probably trying to be somewhat strategic or careful about how you move in communicating that to the other person. I feel like emotionally you might be kind of done with this connection, and maybe you're trying to find a way to communicate to the other person, because on their side we have Pisces, I believe, and so it seems like they're either unaware of how you're feeling, or they're aware and they're trying to kind of like push for the emotion, for the connection to continue. It might have been a situation where it was really benefiting one side more than the other, right? Because I mean, we have the 10 of Cups reversed and the 10 of Wands reversed. So, I feel like there's like a disconnect here. I feel like one side sees things like all bright and super happy, and like, they're like, well, what's the problem? They're not connecting, mentally they're not making that connection as to how you could possibly be unhappy. However, if this was some type of emotional burden for you, it seems like you're kind of trying to get out of that, and there might be like some arguments here, some contention, as far as trying to figure out what direction you're trying to go. But I kind of feel like maybe if anything, you're kind of like moving in silence, or kind of trying to distance yourself without really having to say anything. And you're getting to the point where you're like, enough is enough. And you're ready to tackle this head on, is how I'm feeling. You're ready to face that truth and to have that hard conversation with somebody, and it may feel uncomfortable, but I feel like, there's like a sense of completion here. Usually the world is a sense of completion. The cycle is about to end. You're about to close out a cycle here, especially with 2 10s in your reading, and they're in reverse. So you're probably in the process of doing that if you have not done that as of yet, because I don't know, I feel like they are still in this energy of believing things are going to work out for whatever reason. So I'm trying to kind of figure out, like, let me know in the comments. I'd be very interested to know what is happening here, because it just kind of feels like one side is over it, but the other side might be emotionally still tied to the situation as well. But I don't know, or maybe maybe the person on this side is connected to the relationship, but they're still kind of trying to act single. So maybe they were trying to act single, but kind of play like they're in a relationship with you. And I've heard of these types of things. Thank God I've never had to deal with it, but because it sounds tough, Well, let me say no. I think I have been in something like that. It was a while ago, where you're in a connection with somebody and they tell you to your face, like, oh yeah, we're together, or we're this or that. We're I care about you. I love you, or whatever. But then when you see them out and about, or like their social media has nothing that represents that they're in a connection with anybody, you know, they show like they're just single and living free. And it's like, well, why do you have a problem, you know, posting me on your social media? You have some other chick posted up with you. Why can't you post me? You know, so I think we've all been there, kind of, right? Where we're just like, well, you know, you're acting single, but when you're with me, you don't act single. And that can be a kind of emotional burden, right? So it's time for you to speak your truth, honey. Okay, gender neutral, honey. So let's get some final oracle cards to close this out. If you're in something like that, I'm really sorry, but you know, I feel like you're about to release that burden, okay? It might be difficult. You know, you might feel like you're giving up a part of yourself, but if they truly believe like this card here says that they do, then they should be the ones to come to you and try to make things right. And then that's up to you if you want to actually give it a chance or not, okay? And it's really funny because your oracle cards are just having some trouble coming out, which is funny because I had that same issue earlier. Was it this pile? So you might be very hesitant to have this conversation. Okay, finally. More Pisces energy. So one or both of you could have Pisces in your chart, or heavy 12th house placement. So here we have meditate and contemplate. Yeah, so, you know, there's no rush in having to have this conversation, or, you know, or if things are, you know, particularly contentious in your heart and your mind and your soul in the 3D in this relationship, take that time to ground yourself, to meditate, to think about what, you know, how you want this to go, you know, because I do feel like you want to do this, okay? I do feel that. But if you, oh, that's the other card that was on the bottom of the deck. Sorry. But we'll put it out since it came out anyway. So more blue energy, okay? So there's communication here, and this is blue as well. So maybe they have something that they want to say as well. But you guys might as well just lay your cards on the table, right? Am I right? Okay, but anyway, yeah, oh, that's interesting. You and your loved ones are safe. Aw. New moon in Cancer. You know, I'm realizing that each and every pile had something with the new moon. So we just had a full moon. So maybe there is something going on collectively in the next new moon, which I don't have my phone. I could find out. I believe it's December 1st. Yes, it is. Okay, so December 1st is going to be the next new moon. So by the time the next new moon comes out, or whenever you happen to be finding this reading, it is timeless after all. There could be some important relationship developments that's going on in the collective, okay? So back to your reading. You and your loved ones are safe. So yeah, I really was getting a kind of sense of fear of having this communication. So maybe you have some kind of family with this person. Maybe you have children or kids or something like that. Or maybe, like I was picking up before, maybe you work with this person. Maybe they're your boss, and maybe you're afraid of losing your job, losing your position over it, or maybe having this negatively impact your family as well. And this card is coming out to say that you and your loved ones are safe. So I feel like if you have that conversation with this person, that it's going to go better than expected, right? Because with that Five of Swords, the Two of Swords, one or both of you seem to kind of really be in your head about this. And I really feel like it's you, especially with that Saturn here. It's such a grounded energy. I really feel like you're very sure about what you want to do, what you want to say. But yeah, make that time for yourself to kind of meditate, contemplate, and recenter yourself if it is something that is causing you a lot of stress and anxiety. I'm getting a lot of that right there, like some anxiety on your end. Because I don't know, honestly, I just feel like they're just kind of a little bit in la la land here, and they're not really particularly seeing the truth of the situation the way you see it. So, just communicate clearly and effectively, and I think this will go very well for you, pile number 3, okay? So that's all the messages that I have for you today. I really appreciate you being here and taking the time to listen. I wish you all the best, the very best in your situation, and may you stay safe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.